what Dr. Ravi proposed.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. So I have to speak on retinal detachment surgery for residents, just optional. So let's just look at the current scenario right now. There are huge gaps in ophthalmic infrastructure and lack of subspecialty services. If we introspect, I don't know how many of us actually have the equipment in wherever we are coming from to do retina work, and how many of us are actually doing retina every day. There's poor availability of retina specialists and quality of PG training, poor emphasis on surgeries for residents. In our country, only cataract is emphasized, other subspecialties are not. There is high variation of exposure in the subspecialty of retina in residency training programs in India, and most of the retina residency programs are either from the apex institutes or from the private sector. Evolution of RD surgery. So RD surgery has really evolved from the days of scleral buckling, which was combined with retinopexy with cryotherapy. It's the oldest method of repair and is still having excellent results, as was just pointed out, in well-trained hands. Pars plana vitrectomy, which has come up now, requires intense training in the microscope handling as well as the vitrectomy machine handling. So this is what an equipment for RD surgery looks like, which has indirect ophthalmoscope, cryo, and the various buckles. And this is what a modern RD surgery, the equipment required. So the microscope with a fundus beam system, laser machines, consumables like silicon, octane, perfluorocarbons, vitrectomy machine. And what we've been going through since morning, the training of residents in diagnostics, which is going to be a very time-consuming, intensive, needed program. The skills needed for RD surgery have been talked about enough already, but what is important is that as the teacher, we have to know that we are unaware of what the student is seeing. So we have, like for indirect ophthalmoscopy, we don't know. Skill transfer, again, various studies in India recently published, comparing the 20th century trained and the 21st century trained, that RD surgery percentages are on the decline for residency. If we talk about the requirements for a resident to learn RD surgery, the most important is a teacher trained in RD surgery, doing RD surgery regularly, with a resident actually assisting, the equipment, and we must never forget the Miller's pyramid, which tells us the professional competence, how it's growing. So first of all, there has to be knowledge. Then why has to be thought of, knows how. Then it has to go on to performance. And for doing RD surgery, this is a very long-term improvement which has to go on. So I submit that only if the prerequisites of a trained teacher and equipment for diagnosis and surgery are fulfilled, can the resident evaluate, observe, assist, perform under supervision, and then do independently. And in very few institutes, we'll find these all there in the residency program in a current scenario. There is also, on the resident side, priority, motivation, low priority, less motivation, lack of attitude, and difficulty in diagnostics and operating the microscopes and the machines. So complications do happen, and remember, retinal surgery, the complications are all sight-threatening. So to conclude, till such time uniform availability of trained teacher and essential equipment can be ensured in all the training institutions, RD surgery for residents must remain optional. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Samita.